Clay, you're an entrepreneur. I'm an entrepreneur. And as they say in Stoic, the obstacle is the way. And so if you let these pinheads get in your way, you're in trouble. Acta non verba is the motto of the U.S. Merchant Marine Academy at Kings Point, New York. I had appointments to Naval Academy and Kings Point Merchant Marine Academy. And Merchant Marine Academy's motto was acta non verba. In other words, don't listen to what a person says. Watch what they do. Clay, my honor to be on your show. And thank you for all you do. I hear the ripple effects from you are good ripple effects. You know what I mean? People rave about what they learn from you. So congratulations.
My name is Kevin Thomas, and the name of our company is MultiClean. We are a commercial janitorial service, and we serve the entire state of Oklahoma and Kansas and soon to be Arkansas. We have probably grown probably 5 times. We've added, I think when we first started with you, we had 60 to 65 employees. And now we have a little over 300 employees. Before we got involved with Thrive Time, we didn't really have any systems or processes in place. I've probably been to, in 6-7 years, I've probably been to 12 to 13 business conferences. And amazingly, each time I go, I learn something new, and I'm so excited to bring it back and show the team about marketing and how to implement, how to help you guys implement the SEO. And the coaching is just great because there's accountability, and it's just a fantastic way to grow your company. Having a relationship with Thrive Time it's just been amazing for MultiClean. Oh my goodness, it frees me up because then I don't have to take a class on search engine optimization or learn marketing or shoot video. That's not what we do. What we do is commercial janitorial service. And you guys are the experts on marketing, and you teach me and hold my hand and show me how to do it right. And therefore, now my company is much, much larger.
Folks, on today's show, we're joined by a real client. He may look like a male model. He may look like a hologram, but he's a real person. He's a longtime client. He's a man that we consider to be a friend of the Thrive Time Show and a friend of mine. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the show, Kevin. Welcome onto the Thrive Time Show. How are you, sir?
Clay, I'm doing great. Had a great Christmas holiday, and I'm glad to be here.
Okay, so first question, can you tell us what is your name, first and last name, and what's the name of your company, sir?
My name is Kevin Thomas, and the name of our company is MultiClean. We are a commercial janitorial service, and we serve the entire state of Oklahoma and Kansas and soon to be Arkansas.
And how long have we worked with you approximately at this point, sir?
It's been about 6-7 years.
We want to welcome all of His Glory Nation from east to west to north to south. It is Tuesday, time for Clay Clark and our Kingdom Business Building. So we'll be on with Clay just a second. A couple quick updates. Kingdom Fuel, part of the Kingdom. Got to fuel our bodies with Kingdom Fuel. That's 25 vitamins and minerals, reds and greens there, complete meal replacement. Look at the next chart, how inexpensive this is. That's for 2 scoops. 95% of the people take 2 scoops, including me. That's $3.80 a meal. And look at all the stuff you avoid with the Big Mac, Chick-fil-A, Whopper. Get your Kingdom Fuel today. Also, people that want to try a sampler, we've made a sampler available. There it is, $9.99 to taste it. Get your recipe. And once you put a good recipe together, it's absolutely off the chart. So grab that today. Next is Chronology. This is my go-to every night to go to sleep. Buy one, get one free. A BOGO. Free shipping. This is absolutely amazing stuff. Also, you can put it on your hands or any cuts you have topically, helps clean it up and heal it immediately. All right, Shofar, go get your Shofar to go far. These are from our partners in Bethlehem and also Jerusalem. We're going to have Good Friday, a blowing of the shofar all over His Glory Nation. I think we have 164 people signed up so far to blow the shofar on Good Friday. So send us an email at info@hisglory.me. You want to participate, we'll send you a link, and we're going to blow the shofar. So get your shofar. Those are authentic ram's horn from Bethlehem and Jerusalem. Support His Glory programming. We can't do it without you. To get 1 billion souls in the 7 mountains, we need your help. We are alive for the greatest time in the history of the world to be alive. As long as we do something about it, we got to go out and preach the gospel from east to west to north to south to every creature. Plant the seed to bring in that 1 billion soul harvest, because we know how it ends in Revelation 22. Our King of Kings and Lord of Hosts comes back and establishes His kingdom once and for all. All right, that's all the updates. It's time for Clay Clark, Kingdom Business Builders.
Hello, sir.
Hi, Clay.
How are you?
I'm doing good. You surviving all this madness in the market?
Well, let me share with the listeners real quick. I'm going to pull this up, Dave, so our listeners can see this. Let me pull this up. Give me 1 second, folks. I'm going to share a screen. Just want to show people this real quick here. Okay, so you got the stock market. All right, so stock market, this is going to be, we'll do Dow Jones live tracker. Okay, so you got the Dow Jones live tracker. I encourage everyone, do not look at the Dow Jones live tracker throughout the day. That'll make your head explode. But you got the Dow Jones live tracker. Then over here, you got the Kitco price of gold tracker. Then over here, you have the Bitcoin, Bitcoin price tracker. And so, Dave, one thing I can tell you is me personally, my life personally, I've been buying precious metals since 2005. And in 1971, the price of gold was $40 an ounce. In 2005, when I started buying gold, it was $450 an ounce in 2005. And now gold is at $3,000 an ounce. And so I would just say for me, I try to buy gold and hold. And so that's kind of where my position is going to be. And I like to own real estate. So I like to own real estate. I like to buy real estate from emotional people. I like to take 25% of my income, buy real estate from emotional people, and then buy gold and hold. That's kind of how I weather the storm personally, Dave. And so the ups and the downs don't freak me out a lot because I'm not typically participating in them. So, Dave, that's how I handle it, because I just buy gold and hold, and I buy real estate. So I don't really go up and down emotionally. But if you're watching today's show and you've got your money in the stock market, it's going to get wild.
And it's probably going to get worse before it gets better.
Exactly. And these tariffs, whether somebody out there watching right now, you agree with the tariffs or you don't, the theory of the tariffs is to cause American manufacturing to come back to these United States. And so for that to happen, obviously there's factories that would have to be built. People would have to be employed. And I don't know how good you are at building factories if you're watching online right now. I've got several of my clients that actually build commercial buildings. I've got several of my clients that actually build commercial buildings. And even the most skilled commercial builders say it normally takes 2 years or so to build a factory from a startup to working properly. So if we are going to bring manufacturing back, we're in for sort of a bumpy ride here. So we'll be praying for wisdom for President Trump. But Dave, in my stack of stuff today, I wanted to teach 5 practical business steps that every listener out there can benefit from. And I've got notes, so I'm going to pull up my notes here so everybody can follow along with me. And it's very important, if you're watching today's show, you also take notes, because note takers are game changers. I've noticed this over time. The people that take the notes, those are the people that are changing the game. The people that don't take notes, a lot of times you get great information, but you can't remember what was said. You can't remember what was talked about. And so I encourage everybody out there to take notes. So here we go. 5 action points I want to get into today. First off, first question. Are you gaining traction, or are you stuck in perpetual distraction? So if you're a business owner out there, Dave, I've been coaching with and consulting with businesses for years, and that's one of the first questions I ask people is, are we gaining traction, or are we struggling with distractions? If your listeners go to thrivetimeshow.com, thrivetimeshow.com, and they click on testimonials, you're going to see thousands of client success stories that I've worked with over the years. I'm going to play one just recent success story so you can kind of get the flow. These are the kinds of people we work with. This is Jennifer from Beloved Cheesecakes. Here we go.
Well, I can say just from this last January to last January, if you just took that month with our online shipping orders, we grew 240%. I would say two things, and you did not pay me at all to say this, but I would definitely go to one of your conferences, because what I tell people, it's not a motivational conference, it's an action-packed conference, and you're going to learn.
So, Dave, I want to ask you this. This is a wonderful lady. She's a great Christian lady, great Christian business owner, Beloved Cheesecakes, based in Oregon. By the way, anybody can buy her stuff at belovedcheesecakes.com. Dave, I think a lot of people, not your listeners, but other people, we have a goal. We want to get there. We know where we are. We want to get there. But for whatever reason, we're almost afraid to ask the question, are we getting closer or further away from that goal? What is it that keeps business owners, Dave? And you came from corporate America. You had a lot of success there. You also were successful as an athlete. What is it that makes a basketball player not want to know their free throw percentage? Or what makes a quarterback not want to know their completion percentage? Or a business owner not to want to look at the actual numbers?
Well, you have to look at that. That's the measuring point. I used to always, no matter what I did, whether it's corporate America or sports, do a postmortem every day. What went well the day before? What do we need to correct? What do we need to do better? But you should be doing daily postmortems.
Now, it's okay. So step number one, folks, everybody out there, get out a sheet of paper, write down, am I getting closer to my goals or further away from my goals? And there's 7 areas I encourage everybody to think about. This is not, if I say anything that ever goes against the Bible, go with the Bible. But every day, the book of Romans tells us, don't be conformed to the world. And we're supposed to renew our minds daily through the reading of the word. I agree with that. And in addition to that, I would say we need to look at our day, the day before. You call it the postmortem. You analyze the day before, and you ask yourself, am I getting ahead in the following 7 areas? Here we go. Faith. Faith. I mean, am I getting closer to God or farther away? Sin creates separation. I think we know that. So for anybody out there, if you, were a raging alcoholic and then you got sober and then yesterday you became a raging alcoholic again, then maybe you got further away, as an example. For anybody out there, you're trying to get in the best shape possible. You're eating Sherwood shakes. You're doing great. And then last night you pulled you went to a cheesecake factory and had a buffet style, just animal style, all you can eat cheesecake factory. You got further away. So again, what are your goals for your faith, your family, your finances, your fitness, your friendship, and your fun? What? And then your focused energy. Let's talk about it again. Your faith, your family, your finances, your fitness, your friendship, your fun, and your focused area. So I'm just going to be very self-deprecating, very self-aware, very vulnerable with your listeners here. Faith yesterday, I feel like if there's 10 points I could score, you can't earn your way to heaven, but I feel like yesterday was a solid about 9 for me. Yesterday I was really diving into some Bible study. I feel good about that. Family, yesterday I surprised my wife with a fun thing. We have an anniversary coming up. We've been married 24 years, so I scored some points there. So faith and family. Finances. Yesterday we had a great day. One America News had me on the program to talk about the upcoming business workshops that we're hosting at thrivetimeshow.com with Eric Trump, and it's going to be awesome. And so we had a great day yesterday. We had a lot of good energy in the office. We were on One America yesterday. And again, for your listeners that want to know more about that, then go to thrivetimeshow.com. Tim Tebow is joining us at our upcoming conference in June. Eric Trump is joining us in September. And so it's a good day. So faith, family, finances. Fitness. Yesterday was a day where I adhered to this carnivore diet thing that I'm trying to stick to here. So I feel good about yesterday. So faith, family, finance, fitness, friendship. I feel like yesterday we had great, solid relationships, great, but it's all intentional. And there are some days I look at my day and I go, man, I could have done better. So I encourage everybody right now during the break, as we have a little moment here, write down your goals for your faith, your family, your finances, your fitness, your friendship, and your fun. And ask yourself, am I getting closer to my goals or getting further away? And the reality is, most of us have room to improve, myself included. And Dave, I think it's just important we do that post-mortem you talked about every single day.
Oh, it's crucial. So that way you know what to adjust, what's going well, what to keep doing. Because if you don't look at that every day, you're gonna get off track, and then weeks go by, months go by, and it's too late.
Dave is allowing me to go into the break. I see what's happening here. So I encourage everybody right now, before we head into the break, go to thrivetimeshow.com. Go to thrivetimeshow.com. You can check out all the details related to our upcoming June conference with Tim Tebow and Eric Trump joining us here right here in Tulsa, Oklahoma in September. That's thrivetimeshow.com. Once again, that's thrivetimeshow.com.
Introducing the His Glory app, your one-stop destination for all your news, updates, and spiritual nourishment. In a world of chaos, find clarity and inspiration with the His Glory app. Stay informed, deepen your faith, and discover purpose. The app is the best way to avoid chatbots and have the best experience. Join thousands who found enlightenment. Explore our diverse range of content that brings you closer to truth. Available on Apple TV, Roku, and more. Download today. His Glory, guiding you through every moment.
Do you know that Amazon participates in the censorship of conservatives? Did you know they've pushed trans indoctrination on our children? We're in a war, and I'm asking you to be a part of something greater. I'm asking you to join our kingdom economy. We all need to buy cleaning products, clothes, and food. Why not buy from somebody that loves God? Go to our kingdom economy page and make a difference today. Let's defund the cabal and be a kingdom builder. No more money to going into destroying our lives, our children's lives. We need to take it away from them. We need to cut it off and build the kingdom through patriot and Christian organizations. Do you want to give your money to corporations that do not share our value and our God? Or do you want to feed the kingdom that gets this nation back and loves our God and puts our God first? Stand up for what you believe in. Swap where you shop. That's how we win. Fight with your dollars, and light wins. God bless you, and go in his shalom. Right. We are back with Clay Clark. Clay, you handled it absolutely brilliantly, right to the break.
I appreciate you very much. So again, I just encourage everybody. I just want to be very clear. Every day you got to look at your day and say, how can I serve God with my faith, my family, my finance, my fitness, my friendship, my fun? And I'll just be very real with you. There was a time in my life where I was not blocking out enough time to be with my incredible wife. I just was not doing it. And it took, what I would call a very colorful, incredible high energy interaction with her to discover that I was not living up to the standards that I should be as a husband. And so I had to block out time in my schedule for that. And so everybody out there, just be very self-aware. Now we're moving back into our notes here. I want to help everybody grow successful companies in 2025. Number 2, you got to measure what you treasure. You got to measure what you treasure. I work with these wonderful entrepreneurs. Let me hit play on this video. Here we go. This is Kevin Thomas with his company is called Multi-Clean, and I want people to listen to what he says here. He had a janitorial service. Here we go.
My name is Kevin Thomas, and the name of our company is Multi-Clean. We are a commercial janitorial service, and we serve the entire state of Oklahoma and Kansas and soon to be Arkansas. We have probably grown probably 5 times. I think when we first started with you, we had 60 to 65 employees, and now we have a little over 300 employees.
Dave, this is an example here. This is a guy, his company's called Multi-Clean. It's a janitorial service. He reached out to me. He went to thrivetimeshow.com. He scheduled a free 13-point assessment. He knew that we charged $1,700 a month to grow companies. What he did not know is we don't just do marketing and branding. We teach hiring, inspiring, training, retaining. We teach HR systems. We teach workflow development. We teach specifically how to track, how to measure, how to hold your team accountable. We teach specifically how to lead meetings, how to become the leader that your company needs. We teach you how to grow a successful company. And he reached out to us, Dave, and we've helped him grow his business from under 60 employees to over 350 employees now. That testimonial is a little bit old there. But Dave, if you don't measure what you treasure, you won't even know where you're stuck. And so he was self-aware enough to say, look, I've been in business for over 10 years and I'm stuck. And could you help me? And Dave, I think there's a lot of people watching today's show. For some reason, we're not measuring what we treasure. Why is it that people don't want to put the metrics on the thing and track the actual level of success they're having or not?
I think sometimes they're afraid to see the result. If you avoid it, you may not have to deal with it. And we need to know that number. It's like keeping score in a basketball game. You have to keep score. You got to know if you're behind or ahead and what to do accordingly.
Now, move number 3, we've got to generate leads to succeed. Now, I encourage everybody, this is not a shameless commercial for all things His Glory, but I mean this, and I am shameless. So here we go. Dave, if anybody goes to Sherwood.tv, you guys have teamed up. You have a great Kingdom Fuel line of products that help people get into their best shape possible. That is a real thing. Many of the sponsors that you guys have on your show are also sponsors that I work with. So there's many people, a company like Beloved Cheesecakes. I don't think they're a sponsor of your show, but they like your show. Beverly Hills Precious Metals. That's a guy that we both work with. Andrew Sorcini does a great job. But at the end of the day, Dave, I mean, if you're putting out this great content and people love His Glory, but nobody buys something, you're going to get to a spot very quickly where your business model or your ministry won't succeed. So step number 3, no matter what business you're in here, no matter what business you're in today, you've got to find a turnkey way to generate leads. There's got to be a turnkey way to generate leads. And I know, Dave, for you, you're very selective about the sponsors you bring on your show. And so you're not going to bring on a health product you don't believe in. You're not going to bring on someone who's selling something you don't believe in. So you have to do, if you're watching today's show, you've got to find what is the best way to generate leads in a win-win symbiotic relationship. Let me try that again. When Dr. Sherwood comes on your show, he brings a lot of value. Amen. Andrew Sorcini comes on your show. He brings a lot of value. Amen. Amen means yes, by the way. They come on your show. They bring a lot of value. Yes. They come on your show. So there's a win for the audience. And then they have solutions. And most people who've been watching this show for the past 4 or 5 years, they've been buying gold at $1,000 an ounce. And now it's $3,000 an ounce. Most of the listeners who've been watching your show, they've been buying Sherwood's products for the last 3 or 4 years, and they're getting in great shape. But if you're watching today's show and you own a business, you've got to ask yourself, do you have a turnkey way to generate leads? Dave, what happens if somebody's watching today's show, they own a business, and they don't have a turnkey way to generate leads?
Well, if you don't have leads, you don't have sales. So that whole funnel dries up very quickly.
And then all of a sudden, you're having really weird emotional meetings. I'm just telling you. This step number 4, you have to generate sales or your business will fail. What does that mean? You can have all the leads you need, but if you don't sell something, eventually it's going to fail. So I always tell people, if you don't have any sales, your business will fails. Okay, so if you're watching today's show, it's super important that if you say, I need to check up from the neck up and I need to learn how to sell something. If you're a doctor, you're a dentist, you're a lawyer, you're a photographer, you are any kind of business out there, that's what we do at thrivetimeshow.com. Move number 5 here, final pro tip on today's show. I want to go 90 miles an hour, get this information out there. You've got to develop a 3-legged marketing stool. And whenever I take a client on, when I work with a new client, I think about Aaron Antis from Shaw Homes. When I think about Jennifer with Beloved Cheesecakes, I think about Kevin with Multi-Clean. Most business owners, they don't have a turnkey way to generate leads. And so everything's word of mouth. Everything is generated by word of mouth. This gentleman here, this is Dr. Corrigan. Check out his story. He reached out to us. He's a doctor, very established. He didn't reach out to us till he was over the age of 60. And listen to what he had to say. All right, Tribe Nation, on today's show, we have an opportunity to hear from an actual longtime client that we've had the pleasure of helping to grow his business, and I'm super honored to have him on today's show. Dr. Corrigan, welcome on to the Thrive Time Show. How are you, sir?
I'm doing well. Thank you very much for having me on the show.
For anybody out there that wants to verify that you're a real person, what's the name of your practice and what's your website there, sir?
Our practice is a New Image Med Spa, and our website is aniok.com.
Now, Dave, this is a real doctor, and he reached out. He's watching a show just like this, and something was tugging on his heart or his head or whatever that was. And he's going, I'm over the age of 60, and I don't have a way to generate leads. Like, my phone does not ring unless I go out there and shake the bushes, figuratively speaking. All of his business was coming in word of mouth. He reached out to me. True story. Dave, we helped him double his company in less than 2 years. So if you're watching today's show and you say, man, I want to help, I want to grow a successful company, how do I do it? I want to take the mystifying qualities out of it. I want to take the woo-woo out of it. I do believe that God is involved in everything, but I don't want you to have a miracle in order for your business to grow. I want to make it a turnkey success story for you. So I'm giving you examples. If you're in the automotive industry, we have a company we work with, or companies we work with, but one of them is The Garage. They're an automotive repair shop right here in Tulsa, Oklahoma. If you have a restaurant, by the way, the garage has grown 8 times. 8 times, folks. Think about that. 8 times larger. Papa Gallo's, they're a pizza business. They've grown over 5 times larger. Papa Gallo's, they're in Satellite Beach, Florida. A neighboring business called Morning Glory, they're in Satellite Beach, Florida. They're also a restaurant. So again, folks, we can help you grow your company. If you're in the carpet cleaning space, we've helped OxyFresh to open up 500 plus locations. If you're in the haircut space, we help people to grow haircut businesses. If you are in the home building space, we work with home builders. I think about Sky House Home Builders. We work with these guys. There's Sky House Custom Home Building. There's really no business out there that we can't help and no industry that we can't help. The only industry, Dave, that I'm aware of that we haven't helped is all the people who are out there working in the petting zoo industry. So if you're in the petting zoo industry, I would love for you to be our first success story and for first case study. But I encourage everybody right now, call to action. Go to thrivetimeshow.com, and request your tickets for our upcoming workshop. We've got Tim Tebow joining us in June. That's going to be June 5th and 6th. Tim Tebow joining us right here, Tulsa, Oklahoma, June 5th and 6th. 350 people in attendance. It's going to be awesome. Then we have Eric Trump joining us here in September, and that lineup continues to grow. Alina Haba is joining us in September. That's September 25th and 26th. So if you're out there watching today's show and you want to start or grow a super successful company, Dave, final case study here for you. A company we've worked with for years called Full Package Media. Full Package Media. We've worked with these guys from the moment they were first a startup until now. They're a massively successful company, and we worked with them from day one, Dave. This was a startup. This guy was a paramedic. His business was not moving. It was not grooving. It was just an idea, and we helped him to turn his idea into massive success. And Dave, I encourage you, Dave, you've met a lot of my clients at the Reawaken America Tour events. These are real people who are having real success. And once you have success, it just allows you to give more to your church, give more to ministries, allow more opportunities for your family. Dave, I think every Christian out there should lean into the idea of building a kingdom-building business in 2025.
Absolutely. With the economy, the tariffs, everything going, many things uncertain, major corporations not being loyal anymore, you can start your own business and be the captain of your own ship.
And I just think, Dave, what a lot of times happens, this is just something Eric and Trump and I were talking about backstage at the Reawaken Tour, is, we're so excited. Eric and I were talking about how excited we would be if his father returned to the White House. We were all excited. We're backstage. A lot of the really well-known speakers were just talking about how excited we would be if President Trump was restored to become our 47th president. And then Eric was asking, because he's an entrepreneur, well, what's next? Should Trump return? Should he return as our president of these United States? What are we going to do? And Eric and I got to talking, and he's going, we really need to help business owners to learn how to grow successful companies. His dad can go out there and sign executive orders and do the things he can do to help turn things around. He can secure the borders. He can instill a strong monetary system. He can impose tariffs. He can do all those things. But what are you going to do if you're watching today's show? So I encourage you today, if you're watching today's show, take action. So there's 3 calls to action for you. 1, go to thrivetimeshow.com. And if you use promo code HisGlory, you have a chance to win a backstage pass. Go to thrivetimeshow.com and use promo code HisGlory, win a backstage pass to our Reawake or to our upcoming business conferences. Or final, if you want to schedule a one-on-one 13-point consultation, just go to thrivetimeshow.com. That's thrivetimeshow.com. And Dave, with 10 seconds on the board, back to you.
Yes, the audience needs to take action today. You can be the captain of your own ship. Good time to do it. Start today. Go into shalom.
Clay Clark is here somewhere. Where's my buddy Clay? Clay's the greatest. I met his goats today. I met his dogs. I met his chickens. I saw his compound. He's like the greatest guy.
I ran from his goats, his chickens, his dogs.
So this guy's like the greatest marketer you've ever seen, right? His entire life, Clay Clark, his entire life is marketing.
4,000% from February to February. Now, I can better that. Okay, Clay, I don't think you know this. I'm pinching myself, and if I cry, forgive me. In the last 2.5 days, we have bettered our entire month of February in the last 2.5 days. So, and the phone's blowing up. Everything's just blowing up. You're right. It is like a rocket ship. So we're pinching ourselves, actually.
I learned at the Academy, Kings Point in New York, acta non verba. Watch what a person does, not what they say.
But I recognized at the age of 15, I'm going, you know what? I am not going to live that way. And so I started a company out of my parents' basement called djconnection.com. And I decided I am going to have success. And so I reached out to millionaires and people that I kind of knew through church and friendships and people that parents of my friends. And I said, what book would you recommend that I read? I'm a 15-year-old asking this question. True story. And I kept being told, you got to read.
Hello, Robert Kiyosaki, Rich Dad Radio Show. It's an exciting time. Also, I think a treacherous time, a spooky time also. But it's always, danger is a good time. Today, my guest is Clay Clark, and I went out with Tom Wheelwright to visit Clay with Eric Trump also. And the reason I want to talk to Clay this morning is a very important subject called study. And the reason I say that is things are changing so fast, and many people are completely missing the show. Things are changing at rapid speed. Technology is changing. And so I went to Tulsa, again, with Tom Wheelwright and Eric Trump. And the thing I was so impressed about Clay is this word called study. I don't know, you guys must be in your water or something, Clay, but boy, I was so impressed how big you guys are. But what really impressed me was you have this huge congregation. They're all about guys your age. They're on fire. And you start your classes at 5 in the morning. Now, let me talk to you about study here. We show our books here. Now, this is how I study. This is The Creature from Jekyll Island. It's on the Fed. And Clay's doing the same thing. We study. So I go out to Clay's place in Tulsa, Oklahoma. He's built this huge compound out there. And you guys start at 5 o'clock in the morning. It's not by Zoom. They drive there. They show up 5 o'clock, bright-haired, bushy-tailed and all this. And they're on fire. Your group is on fire. So that's what was on Clay, this technology you tell your group. I was so impressed. Because, like I said, studies became a bad word. I got into fights in my own company because our staff didn't want to study anymore. And I don't know how they cannot do that. So, Clay, anyway, welcome to the Rich Dad Radio Show. That's what I want to talk to you about, is how do you do it? 5 o'clock in the morning, you have hundreds of people showing up in your huge auditorium on your property to study. Anyway, welcome to the show, Clay, and what turns you on so much? That's what I want to know. Give us a little about your background.
Karime Schofield, and the name of our company is Whistle While You Clean.
I am Sophia Schofield.
We live in Cincinnati, Ohio, and we service the tri-state, so Kentucky, Ohio, Indiana.
We were getting a phone call, and we were like, why is someone calling our business line? That's unusual, and we picked it up, and it was a lead.
I mean, it's been incredible, Clay. We've gone from 0 to 100% growth. We're like a full functioning company. It's great. We're blown away at how well we're doing. So working with you guys have really taught us a lot about generating leads and pursuing our Dream 100. So we have a list of customers that we want to market to. And so we've been making phone calls, we've been showing up in person. We're trying to get near the businesses that they would visit if they were visiting like a hair salon or something. And then we start calling them and we just start pursuing them. And then the other thing that we do is when we do cleans, we take a lot of video testimonials and we post those to our website so other customers can see. And then we also upload a lot of images of the things that we do. And so we're also asking our clients for Google reviews after we've cleaned their houses. And so it's this constant cycle of doing those things over and over and over again. I would say if you're on the fence, go to one of Clay's conferences. They are hilarious. They're fun. They're educational. They're so good that even my teenagers like them. And I would say don't let fear hold you back. If you want to start a business, do the obvious thing and hire someone who knows how to run businesses. If I wanted to get in shape, I'd hire a gym person, a personal trainer. This is like the personal training for business. It has been absolutely amazing. I mean, our coach is encouraging. When he first met with us, he said, do we want him to be like a drill sergeant with us? You know, what level of intensity do we want him to give us? And I will say he is incredibly encouraging all the time, and he just hits the same mark with us every single time. It's very repetitive, but I think we both really learn a lot every time we sit down and have a conversation with him over the phone. It's he keeps pushing us to go further, and he can recognize when we're afraid to do something, and he'll give us a little bit of grace, but that next week he's drilling us again, like pushing us to go harder. Our no-brainer offer is we are offering your first clean for $1. And that sounds absolutely insane. It even sounded insane when I was talking over it with our business coach. And I will tell you that that has generated some of our hugest clients. I mean, that has been like a game changer because it opened up the door to more clients, more recommendations, more leads. And we were surprised how far that dollar clean got us.
How important has it been for you to work out that scripting, even though you offer $1 for the first clean? How important has it been for you to nail that down?
It's been really important because it kind of it hones in so that you're not just all over the place when you're trying to explain what it is that you do. And a lot of times it's like you're a good person offering a good product and you have integrity and you want to communicate that. But when you go to communicate without a script or without practice, it's just like a mess coming out of your mouth, as opposed to having this, you know, honed in practice where you know what you're going to say, you know how you're going to say it, and you can almost expect better results when you do it that way.
Had you ever been an entrepreneur before starting this particular business?
No, never.
Did you ever think about wanting to own your own business someday? Or what was the first time you thought, you know, maybe I would like to open my own business?
Absolutely. I've probably been dreaming about it for about 10 years.
Okay, and let me go to your daughter here. Had you ever thought about wanting to team up and open your own business, or was that something that you were maybe excited about, or not so much?
Well, for me, my parents would always listen to your podcast and business podcast. And as I started listening to them, I started realizing that I wanted to own a business.
It's www.whistlewhileyouclean.com. Honestly, the hardest thing was getting over the fear. It was the fear of the unknown. There was like a cloud of doubt that, you know, you can't do this, you're gonna fail. There was a few sleepless nights there when we did pull the trigger and join your team and start the coaching process. Even my husband put a little bit of pressure on me from time to time because it was just absolutely scary to take that jump and actually start a business.
Whoa.